Okay, fam. I believe that everyone can hear me. Welcome. So if you have made more than 15 trades in the last 30 days, please put a 1 in the comments. And if you have watched the trading training call 1 to 7, then I want you to put a 2 in the comments. If you have watched that, put a 2 in the comments. If you have not watched it, maybe you don't know where to find it, or maybe you didn't have time to do it, please put a 3 in the comments. If you have not watched the trading training, or you don't know where to find it, put a 3 in the comments. Okay, I have 4 people reacting here. I need at least 50% of people to react. I know some people are at places where they are not able to write or do things. Okay, so I'm going to ask, in fact, I'm going to try and do it myself. I'm going to try and do it myself. Let me find 1 to 7, the training, and then share it in the group. Okay, I'll just, Ilana, can you just make a note so support can put it in there? Eh? Can just make a note so support can put that in there. Okay, so like I said earlier, we do not keep the scores for longer than 30 minutes. We just want to get an update of the market and where the overall team is, and then obviously where we think the market is going. So it's pointless in sharing new or additional confirmations when people are not following along. However, we need to move forward. We didn't have a call in 2 weeks, or if not 3. So we will need to obviously advance because at the end of the day, there are others that are constantly trading and would like to also get feedback on what the team thinks or what I think where the market is going. So last week I told you guys that, you know what, within the next 2 days, basically in the weekend, we should see Bitcoin at $31,000. And yeah, today it happened. It took 3 days and not 2 days like I expected. But yeah, we are there, and I am expecting us to actually make a stop on $36,000 as yet. But many who does trading, they would just give what they think and not share how they get there. Remember, what we do is we basically share. What I do is I basically share why I think this, and then you can conclude and decide. You know what, I think the same way or not. And remember, there are different tools that you can use to actually predict the market. So some people, they would, for instance, get just the 5 confirmations or the 4 confirmations, the ones I showed you. Others would maybe include the Elliott wave in there and become a master at the Elliott wave. Others would decide, you know what, I'm going to I won't do anything unless I actually put in the Fibonacci retracement tools. So, but I like to get an overall view. Obviously, you don't want to use too many and be confused, because if you are going to, let's say you watch 5 different traders in the market, if you watch all of them and they have different strategies, you would most probably always find that they come to the same conclusions, even though they have different strategies. But in other in other cases, you can also find that too many confirmations, too many tools confuses you. So you also don't want that. So I'm going to share just briefly how I'm getting to 36K, and then I will get feedback from you guys, what you guys think. And then also I will then, because I want to be relevant, some people on here, it's going to be something new because they did not even watch the first 7 training modules. But I obviously don't want to keep you back, so I'm going to share that. I'm just going to get my daughter to bring me some water. Okay, I've got an itchy throat for the last few days. Yeah, I think after Tata last week, my voice went. So let me quickly get rid of this. Otherwise, if I show you my chart, you wouldn't be able to think any other way. Okay. Just to see where your guys' expectations are in the next 30 days. It is not the first, it's the second, I think. It's the third. Wow. It's the third of July. Where do you think will be the highest point during the course of this month? Over the next 30 days, by the end of July, what do you think will be the highest point of Bitcoin? I remember we do our analysis on Bitcoin because that is when Bitcoin goes up, others follow as well. What do you think? What will be the highest point? In fact, I don't wanna have you push you guys to say something, because at the end of the day, you can most probably think that where we are now is the highest point because we're going down. If you feel that we are actually gonna be trading sideways, or we are actually going to see a dip, you can also share the lowest point that you feel where Bitcoin is gonna go. Okay. I understand if others are not actively trading and they, you know what, they're just also looking and not having a definite expectation. Okay, so by now you should be able to see my screen. You should be able to see my screen. Please put a 5 in the comment if you see my screen. Put a 5 in the comment if you see my screen. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Now, guys, I want you to understand the difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So fundamental is basically good, like the news, stuff that's happening, like for instance, the halving that is happening. So obviously, the fundamentals, when it comes to that, it has a huge impact on where crypto is going. Then also when it comes to a technical analysis, obviously checking or using these tools, it is basically based on the past, what has happened then. So you use basically these tools to predict where the asset is going. Like I say, it doesn't matter which cryptocurrency you are trading. For now, or what we do is we do our analysis on Bitcoin. And once it does that, we do it on that, you can go and trade any other cryptocurrency here. Obviously, if the fundamental is strong, you would see even Bitcoin maybe plummeting. But then let's say Litecoin is halving now. So even if Bitcoin were to stand still or Bitcoin were to move south, you would actually see Litecoin going up. But overall, you would see obviously wherever Bitcoin does, like if I take our faces away here and I bring this up, you would see the last 7 days Bitcoin did this. All other charts tend to do the same. Obviously, this is a stable coin, but it tends to do the same. If you understand that, please put a 6 in the comment. Why I say we do our analysis on Bitcoin, but then we implement that throughout other when we're trading other cryptos as well. Okay, that's not hard to basically get. So, like I'm saying, I said earlier, people use different tools. There are many different tools. However, I do not want to share. I'm going to share the ones that I use. I like to keep things simple. I don't spend hours and hours in front of a chart on a daily basis. I use my tools, and the tools that I use, they work out well. And at the end of the day, I'm happy with those. So obviously, I showed the others in the previous video, so I'm not going to go over that. But for more long term and for more to be more confident in my trades, what I do is I also make use of the Fibonacci retracement tools. I also make use of the Elliott wave. So those two, I use them in conjunction. Obviously, with such a okay. So I lost you there for I don't know how long. I hope not too long, but I lost you there for a minute. But why do I feel that the rounds of 38,000 and 36,000 is so important? Because if you look back, you always want to look back what happened in the past. So if you look back, this is where a lot of action has happened. This used to be a demand zone until it was obviously broken. So I'm not going to spend too much time on here, but this used to be a demand zone because Bitcoin just couldn't get lower than that until I can't remember. I think it was Luna, but there was FUD in the market, and then we broke down from 36, then we over the round 31, and for a while, and then we moved more downwards. Okay, so we will share those videos in the group once again. So we will share it in the group, the trading videos, to get everyone up to speed. So once you're up to speed, you would know everything this that I showed, how to draw it, all of those, right? So this was broken, and then obviously after that, it becomes a supply zone. So let me just turn this right. I see that there's something in the chat, but I'm gonna try and look only afterwards because I want to keep this to listen. Support will send it. Yes, 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 yes. Fantastic. Ilana is here. Okay. So just some of the rules whereby you can identify whether it is an Elliott wave or not. Let me just take out my pencil. Number one, just some of them. Okay, in fact, let me share them as I go because then it will be more relevant. So I'm going to share something. For some, it would be new. For others, it wouldn't be something new. So let me first put back this. I actually took out the supply zone here. You would know why there's a supply zone here if you've watched the previous videos. So okay, so what I said was in conjunction with the other previous indicators and tools, I used the Elliott wave. So for the Elliott wave is basically this tool. So I always have it ready here. So I use the Elliott impulse wave, and then I also use the Elliott correction wave. That is when I'm expecting the market to go down. So currently, if you haven't noticed from the group, I'm quite bullish and I'm expecting the market to actually go to 36, and it might even, based on the Fibonacci adjustment tool that I'm going to share with you, I'm expecting it to actually go higher than that. So you would find that many traders, they come to the same conclusion, but they use different tools. Guys, basically these tools are just there to confirm what you are expecting. So sometimes people expect the same thing or different things, but at the end of the day, people use different tools. So you can decide, you know what, I'm never going to use the Elliott wave. It's too complex, or I don't think that it is actually working. But an Elliott wave looks something like this. There are 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, some of the rules of the Elliott wave are 1, 3, and 5 are generally the longest waves. How do I take that away? Okay. So 1, 3, and 5 are generally the longest. The shortest ones you would see it is 2. It's the ones that are correcting, 2 and 4. Now, also something, obviously I have an in-depth training on this, but just for the short call here. So you would see that when, I'm not sure whether you guys are able to see this. Can I take this away? Why is this in front? Yeah, stop share. Let me share again. Let me see if there is a way now. In fact, let me not share. Let me just take it away first. Okay, it's gone now. Fantastic. So share. I'm going to show you basically why I'm expecting us to go to 36 for the next stop. Can you guys see my chart? If you can see the chart, put the 7 in the comment. If I see 1, 7, I can proceed. Okay, fantastic. So this is what an Elliott wave looks like. 4, you wouldn't, if the market comes down lower than where this top is, then it is not an Elliott wave. Then you should actually start counting over. But in order to keep this simple, I'm basically just going to show the skeleton of it. And then obviously in the training on the Elliott wave, there you will get more in depth and based on the rules that it actually follows. So this is where I started counting, and it is when I confirmed, and I'm fairly bullish that, and I'm fairly confident that this will actually play out. So because the market went up here, if this was a 1 and this is a 2, this is a 3, this is a 4, this came down too low. So it is basically close or the same as this one. So that made me to start counting over. Remember what I said, I do not like sit hours and hours in front of the charts. I trade over time. So Elliott waves are being formed on the daily charts, on the 4-hourly charts. Like for instance, on this up here, if you were to break this down into 1 hour or 4 hour, 15 minutes, you would find a few Elliott waves in there. But because this happened, I started counting over. So I had to delete that out. So I started counting from here. 1, 2. And this wave, this is what I'm expecting to actually happen. So, but I'm expecting it to not just go to 36 and stop. I'm expecting it to actually go through and then come back on the correction on the 4. So from the 4, based on the Fibonacci retracement tool, you would see that we can even go to 40. But let me share with you, how do I determine in terms of the length of how high it should actually go? So in my experience, the Fibonacci retracement tool, I wouldn't say that it has never let me down, but it has always played a huge role in the success of my trades. So therefore, I trust it. And like I say, I've always been using it, and yeah, it works for me. So I'm going to also show you how to set up your Fibonacci retracement tool, because there are so many to choose from, etc. So, but in order to keep this to a half an hour, because then I won't go into too much detail, because you'll have one video for the Fibonacci, one video for Elliott wave. In fact, even more videos for the Elliott wave. But yeah, so this being the first, basically the first wave. The first wave is basically from the bottom here to the top there. To the top there. I could have made it to the top, but then I can't see these lines so nicely. So it is basically to the top there, but I'm just drawing it here so we can see it all across the screen. Now, if I were to make this bigger, you would find that, especially when you getting started with the Fibonacci retracement tools, you would learn what these levels are. Remember, these levels you can basically you can make your own ones, but at the end of the day, why change something that has been working for decades and decades? So you would find out that the 618 is that is basically the one of the most trusted levels, because generally the market would actually respond height to that. So we would see that when this tick off for me, when this tick off, I knew that, you know what, it played out now. So obviously I'm expecting the market to now, I'm expecting the third leg to do the same. So when it did it, and when it all of the positive news came out, I knew that, you know what, now is obviously the time to take positions, because if you don't take it now and this Elliott wave plays out, you would find that you've actually not missed the boat totally, but you missed huge profits. So, however, generally the third leg would be the longest leg, and I'm going to explain to you why. Because in the first leg, sorry, the third leg would be the longest leg, between 1 and 4. 1 and 5 actually. Generally the first leg is basically the first movers, those who spot the trend first, or those who take action first. But most people first want this to happen, a correction, and then they take action. So this, a group of people generally comes in here. They get the confirmation, or they get the news. They say, you know what, I'm bullish. These first movers, they get in. Then obviously others, then they start taking profit. And then these guys, when it gets here, they actually feel, you know what, I should have gotten in here. I'm just going to wait for the market to come back, then I'm going to get in. So when the market comes back, then they get in. So a bigger chunk of people gets in here. And when a bigger chunk of people gets in here, that is why oftentimes you would see that the third leg is way high, longer and higher than 1 and 5. So once this happens, everyone is bullish. Everyone thinks, no, there's no correction ever going to happen. And then only to realize, you know what, there's a correction happening. And then obviously a lot of people aren't so bullish anymore, but the slow movers, what they would do is they would have seen all of this happening. You know, your friends will say, you know what, I see Bitcoin is doing its thing, etc. I also want to get in now after a lot of people first wait for the real money to be made and then they want to take action. That is these ones, the slow movers. Now, how do I look at, or how do I determine how high the third leg would go? We are going to go more deeper into that, but if I use this from the start to how high it is, others can actually just draw a line and then they would take that line and take it from there and put it here and say up until there and higher. But I'm going to take this tool. I'm going to put him at the start of the third leg. You would see at the start, it would go right there up until close to 36. But generally, you would find that the third leg is longer. That is why I'm expecting it to go through that supply zone. But obviously, it wouldn't just ignore that supply zone. It will definitely bounce around here. And then I'm expecting us to move towards the upside again. The fifth leg, in most cases, it would be way shorter. I'm going to give you the levels, what we are basically looking at. And then you would find that the fifth leg would be even shorter. So the fifth leg, we could even play around there. We could even just do this. And then from there, I'm expecting an ABC correction, even maybe a height back to 36. So this is what I'm expecting. But remember, I always position myself, even if it doesn't go according to what I'm expecting, so I can still actually not lose the farm, but I can still make money. So from here, but in order not to confuse you, I'm just going to put it up and then take it off again. So from here, I'm expecting 1, 2, and we could most probably even do this. So yeah, that's the ABC, the correction, but I'm just going to take that away because that is not at hand what I'm expecting now. So this is what I'm expecting at this point of time. So therefore, I've taken positions, I've longed, and I am moving my stop loss accordingly as the market moves up. I'm going to stop share now. Are there any questions? Obviously, there will be many concerning the new tools that I've included, but there are specific videos on both the Fibonacci and the Elliott wave. So those will be answered in there. But if there are any questions, feel free to ask them, and then yeah, I will just share with you, I'll answer them. Okay, is it clear to you guys what I'm expecting the market to do over the next 4 weeks? Put a 8 in the comment. Okay, it's clear. So obviously there, for those of you who are already using those tools, you know already how to use it. But for those who don't know how to use it, I'm obviously I'm going to make that available to the entire group. So, but for now, can you do analysis on ETH? Okay, I'll definitely do analysis on ETH. So but for now, we will send through video 1 up until 8 tonight's one is 8, and then 9 and 10 would be the Elliott wave as well as the support of a 1-on-1 training. Okay, So yes, we do one-on-one training as well, subject to the person having watched all of the videos first, and then we do the one-on-one. Yes, definitely, Antonio, because maybe something wouldn't be so clear, and then we jump on a call with you, and then we assist you guys with that. So let me quickly look at it. Okay. ETH is about to hit $2,000, guys, eh? And yeah, I mean it when it hit it in the previous bull run, it didn't play around long there, and then it obviously proceeded to your 4,000, 3,000, etc. But let me just get the chart quickly. So I'm I'm not expecting the market to stay long at 2,000 when it comes to ETH. And the fact that Ethereum is now proof of stake. So a lot of people are holding on to the ETH because it now earns them more Ethereum. Just waiting for this chart to open up. Yes. I also have a PDF on or a few PDFs on the Elite Wave. So I will also make that available to you. I'll just have to change some of yeah, the colors, because I did it when we used different colors. So I'm just gonna have to include the current colors that was oriented on the one day. This is we were last April. I'm just gonna use the basics. Where is okay? Here's it. This is obviously we have broken, in my opinion, we have broken this supply zone, and it has obviously flipped to a demand zone. So this, I feel that it's a brilliant opportunity to actually get in here on ETH, but I'm not confident that it will actually come back here. So I don't think that it would reach the levels. So you don't, even if it is a good entry, when you place your trade here and it doesn't go there, then obviously it's of no use. So let us look for a closer entry. We would see that Ethereum has okay. So I would say 130. Okay, 1,840, 1,850. I would say it's a good entry on ETH. It could be rejected here. Where's my pencil? Let's just make it, yeah, I'll keep it ahead. It could be rejected when it gets to 2K and then come right back. So that is why I'm saying 1,840. But if Bitcoin were to do its thing, yeah, I would say you want to observe the whole time what it is doing, but I would say 1,850 would be a good entry. But guys, if you're leveraging high, then it makes sense whether you are getting in at 1840 or 1850 or 1800. But if you like myself, will take a trade and leave it for the trend to actually do its thing, then it won't make a big difference whether you got in at 1840 or 1850 or 1860, because if we look at this, let's just look at the 1 week chart. If you are trading basically taking trades and looking to exit or to close them within weeks, months, even a year, then getting in height there is even a good entry, because a year from now we will definitely not be close to 1960. So see up until where it actually went. And this bull run, we are expecting it obviously to go way higher than that. So, and also take note, guys, this bull run may be the last bull run that will actually give us the results or exponential growth. The market is maturing, and don't expect these kind of profits to always exist. So it's important that you learn now, take action now, because yeah, that's just how it is when market mature, and then 100% growth in the next bull run would actually be something big. And currently we even get 1000%. So, like I'm saying, Colin, I hope that I'm answering you, because if you're doing long plays, then it won't matter whether you got in at 1840 or 1850 or 1860 or 1960, because obviously if you're looking at this, let me just take away this pencil. What growth are we looking at there? 120. So obviously with the times 10 um, leverage, it's 1,200%. So yeah, stop sharing. Okay, guys, so we went over 30 minutes, but I think doing analysis on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, um, I think it is beneficial to everyone. Yeah. Are there any questions? Okay, doesn't seem like there are any questions. I'm going to stop the recording.